Estimation and rounding are not exactly the same thing. However, rounding well is a great tool to help you estimate well. And if you're asked to estimate the sum of two numbers, rounding the numbers first can get you to a pretty reasonable estimate. For instance, if I was asked to round the sum of 33 and 46, I could round each of the addends to the nearest 10. And by adding those, I can come up with a pretty reasonable estimate of the actual answer. In this case, 46 rounds to 50, and 33 rounds to 30. And by adding my rounded addends, I can come up with 80 as an estimate for the sum of these two numbers. So the sum of 46 and 33 is about 80 or approximately 80. And it turns out that the actual answer is 79. So by rounding our addends, we got pretty close to the actual answer. When asked to estimate the sum of 74 and 22, you may want to begin by rounding each addend to the nearest 10. Now, you're looking at 70 plus 20 to find your estimated answer. So that's 90. The actual answer is approximately or about 90. Let's see how close we've gotten. Well, the actual sum of 74 and 22 is 96. When estimating the sum of the addends 31 and 31, it would be easy just to round those to 30 and add. 30 plus 30 equals 60. So we know that 31 plus 31 will be approximately 60 or about 60. And it turns out that our actual answer would be 62. When using rounding to find accurate estimates of sums, you have a couple options of how to round to make things easy for you. So when looking at 674 plus 173, I may choose to round my top addend to the nearest 100, while I round my bottom addend to the nearest 10 for my estimate. And after adding 700 and 170, I could say that the sum of 674 plus 173 is about or approximately 870. Now the actual answer is 847. The difference between the actual answer and the estimated answer was 23. I get the feeling that if I rounded my addends differently, that my actual answer could be even closer to the estimated sum. In fact, if I had rounded both addends to the nearest 10, I would have come up with an estimated answer of 840. That's a difference of only 7, which means that's a better estimate than my previous one. Estimating sums is a great tool for finding out if you have reasonable answers with larger numbers. I'll show you how I use rounding to estimate the sum of 5,643 and 3,212. First, I need to decide how I'm going to round my addends to quickly give an estimate. And I'd like to be able to do this calculation in my head with no pencil or paper. So I've decided that I will round 5,643 to 5,650. That may seem like an odd choice, because if I was really just rounding to the nearest 10, I would round down to 5,640. But because I've decided to round 3,212 to 3,200, which is rounding down by 12, I thought I would try to offset that by rounding my other addend up. Now that I've got 5,650 and 3,200, I'll quickly add 650 and 200, which gives me 850. Having added those two numbers, I can turn my attention to the thousands place, which 5,000 plus 3,000 is 8,000. So I can quickly estimate that 5,643 plus 3,212 is about, or approximately, 8,850. The actual answer is 8,855. The difference between our estimated sum and our actual answer was only 5. When using rounding to estimate sums, it's important to remember that you're trying to find about what the actual answer is, or approximately what the actual answer is. Estimation.